Hi, this is 105. I'm Janos, editor of Negative White, and today we explore At 17, the Janis Ian cover by Zurich-based artist Ronen. If you don't know the original, I invite you to pause now and listen to it. Most of you know At 17, at least unconsciously. When I listened to it again this week, I was like, yeah, I've heard this before. Then again, it's not really a surprise. The Grammy-honored song has been used a lot in media like The Simpsons, Mean Girls, and The End of the Fucking World. Janis Ian was inspired to write this song after reading an article in the New York Times. At 17 was released in 1975, and in 2018, Ian reflected on the writing process in The Guardian. Quote, "It took 3 months to write because it was scary. This was mid-70s, before confessional songs, and I'd never been that honest about feeling ugly and never been asked out. I kept picking it up and putting it down, saying, I can't do this." But ultimately, At 17 became Janis Ian's biggest success. A quiet and delicate song about the cruelty of adolescent exclusion, wrapped in a soft and mellow folk arrangement. It aches, but in a gentle way. 51 years later, Ronen joins the likes of Anita Kerr and Celine Dion covering At 17. But she tears apart the softness of the original and the previous covers. Where Ian filters the pain through a soothing folk sound and forgiving warm horns, Ronen strips it all back. A menacing bass line, distorted guitars, and resolute, empowered vocals. It shaves away all the maybes and lays bare the violent nature of exclusion, the shame of rejection, and how these wounds shape the entire emotional life. Ronen grew up in Tel Aviv and now lives and works in Zurich. The album opens with the song Truth, where Ronen raps the story of herself as a 16-year-old suffering a sexual assault by a poet, and the man's eventual exposure as a predator that she helped facilitate. This song's unflinching nature is a staple of the album, and its tell-all, unredacted quality is something that we can also hear in her cover of At 17. Covers are always a choice. Ronen could have covered anything, but choosing At 17, this song about outsiderdom and shame, and then refusing its comfort, says something about where she is as an artist. It's less an homage than a statement. This is what this song is actually about. That's 105. The rest are in this week's Weekly 5, out on Sunday.